we'll get to that in a minute, and then I'll also paranormal ufology. We'll get to that in a minute, but first I'm gonna show you some of my finds on Amazon. Now, if you look along the bottom, I've linked all these products that I'm gonna share with you today. And first of all, I'm clicking it. You guys can see that highlighted. I'm gonna show you my dress. Let me push the chair back. This is a really highly rated top seller on Amazon. Let me see if I'm barefoot here, but let me see if I can show you. It's got the slits. I would wear it. Oh, one of my children came in. I said, if you come in, you got to be quiet. So go upstairs, son. It's got the slits. It's super comfortable. Now, what I like about this is it feels like it could go casual or dressy. I'm telling you, it feels like sweats. You could dress it up or down. I would wear heels. I would wear boots. I would wear flats with this. Comes in a ton of colors. You'll see it highlighted on the bottom there. Now, how I'm gonna wear it, I'm gonna take off this tie just because I want to zhuzh it up a little bit. I'm gonna take off the tie. I'm gonna pull out one of my designer belts. Any belt will do. And sometimes I think if you pair an outfit with something affordable with something a little bit nicer, it's always gonna elevate the look. So that's how I'm gonna wear it. And I think it just really polishes it up, makes it look nice. I mean, kind of feels like it could be Donna Karan or something, you know? I don't know. It's really giving me higher end vibes when you pair it with either a nice purse, a nice belt, great shoes. And then I also linked, these are the similar earrings to these. I'm really into like the gold, almost vintage looking earrings. Let me pull those up for you right here. These are on sale right now, and these are very stylish. You'll see like celebrities like Hailey Bieber wearing earrings like these right now, and Kendall Jenner. I think just like a really good vintage looking gold earring goes a long way on a look. So anyway, this is the current outfit I'm wearing. So I promised you when I got through one item, I would share a Q&A question from my Instagram. So I took notes, you guys. I'm old fashioned, I still write. I couldn't be dealing with looking at my cell phone right now. So first question is, what is reality TV really like? I have to say, reality TV is not for the faint of heart, okay? When I went down my journey on Real Housewives of Salt Lake, hi to whoever's joining us. The question was, what is reality TV really like? My journey on Housewives of Salt Lake was complicated because initially I was very much not interested. When my friend at the time, Lisa Barlow, came to me and asked me to do the show, it was a hard no. But after a year or two, I think maybe a year, she came back to me saying, please do the show. I really need a friend on the show. And so I considered it. I thought, I'll audition, I'll never get it. Well, turns out I got it. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll give it a go. How bad can it really be? For me, I did not enjoy myself. I lived in a constant state of anxiety. And I think you have to just have really tough skin and be okay with a lot of conflict. For my life and my children, I wasn't able to give them what I wanted to give them and be in a state of constant turmoil. So for me, it was not great. Would I ever do it again? That was also another question I got. I would potentially do reality television again if it was less chaos focused, a little bit higher vibrational, meaning you're putting out something that people can actually gain something from, less of a soap opera, or where it doesn't hurt people. I would be potentially interested in something like that. So yeah, that's what reality TV is actually like. It's very challenging. Okay, so now I'm gonna share with you guys another find. What I decided to do with Amazon was talk about fall hosting, and I decided to do a caramel apple bar. Now this is a really fun idea for a party, Halloween, even just a snack when your kids get home around the holidays. I think they would love it and have a lot of fun with it. I'm gonna take off this belt because it feels like it's gonna fall off. And I'm gonna get up on my knees, it's more comfortable. So I got these mason jars from Amazon. Let me find them for you guys so that I can highlight them. They're really affordable right here. So for 8 small mason jars, $12.88, and I filled them with toppings like toffee, coconut. We've got the colored M&Ms that add a little bit of color, the chocolate sprinkles, the orange sprinkles, and I crushed up Butterfinger. Butterfinger is I got some M&Ms in there too. Butterfinger is very nostalgic for me. I ate this as a kid a lot. So, and I tried one recently and I was like, not as good as I remember it, but still good, great on a caramel apple. And then of course you've got your candy corns. So you can do anything you want really, and I linked some fall colored sprinkles and candy as well. As you guys can see, there's some fall colored sprinkles right there. Anything you want, you put them in the mason jar. I also got this fantastic cutting board from Amazon as well. Let me see if I can find that down there for you guys. I've got just about like 13 things linked, so it's pretty easy, as you can see, to shop these items. Cutting boards in your kitchen go a really long way, not only for the obvious cutting, but for decor. I love stacking cutting boards like up against the wall in my kitchen. They also work for charcuterie, for something like this, and this is a really good size cutting board that could work for your events as well. So I placed it all on a cutting board, decorated with a little bit of cheesecloth, as I linked that as well. It comes in many colors, and it's just like a great filler when you're hosting, and something beautiful. It looks beautiful out on a table, and it just kind of fills in the gap between hard surface. It's nice to have a little bit of texture. So what I did was I got the bamboo skewers. You'll see them down there in the shopping links as well. Cut the apple, squeeze some lemon on it so it wouldn't oxidize. What you could also do is chop up apples, put them in a bowl, and then put the skewers separate in a cup and just have your guests stick them in an apple. But so what I'm gonna do is, there's this Cuisinart fondue pot. This is from Amazon as well. It's very, very highly rated. It's beautiful. A lot of fondue pots aren't so pretty. It's obviously not plugged in right now, but this one's very pretty. And I also love to use this for New Year's Eve fondue. My kids love that. I'll do the whole spread, and I will pull this out for New Year's Eve. So anyway, I take the caramel, which is inside. You can either turn it on hot and melt it, or do the dipping apple caramel that you get from the store, the grocery store, if you don't want the heat. It's totally up to you. I mean, nothing beats homemade caramel, but this is a good alternative. We're gonna dip the apple inside. I'm excited to try this. Dip the apple in the caramel, get a lot of caramel on there. Oh, it's so gooey, you guys. I wish you could smell it too. I wish you could eat this with me right now. So I dipped it in the caramel. How much would kids love this? Kids are gonna love this so much. My boys would go crazy over it, and it would get their friends to come over. If you have teenagers like me, I think it's all about creating moments where their friends will want to hang out, or they'll want to hang out because they're so busy socializing and running around from school to sports. I like to create moments in my home where I can even just get 30 minutes with them to have a conversation. So I feel like the toffee chips, so I'm gonna go ahead, and you can either have your guests dip it, but it gets a little messy. I grabbed a spoon and just put it right on top there. And it's just a really fun, unique, creative treat. It's a classic, obviously, but it's a unique way to play on a classic. Okay, look at that. Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering. I normally don't do sugar this early, but you know, it's the weekend and we gotta do it. How could I not do this? Okay. So good. That is such a treat. I also picked, you know, the small apples? I picked small apples instead of the really big ones because I think it just gives a better size. But that is a really yummy treat. Let's try a little coconut. We're gonna pretend it's healthy by adding coconut. There's the coconut. Yum. Okay, so caramel apple bar. It's all linked. We've got the cheesecloth, the cutting board, the bamboo skewers, the mason jars, and the Cuisinart pot. For those of you who have tuned in recently, all the items are on the bottom here to shop. Add them to your cart if you don't want to buy them now, or grab them right now while you're here. And I've linked all of it so that you can replicate the exact same thing I've done here. And I just threw some apples in a bowl just because I think it looks cute. And if someone just wants a whole apple, there you go. Okay, let's get to another question. If anybody else has questions, feel free to type them in. So, how is school going with the ufology? And tell us about Leo. Shout out to Salem. Salem is a follower I have. Her cat is named Salem. She always asks me questions about Leo. So Leo, my cat, is beautiful. Prettiest person in the house by a mile. He's got this, he's a Bengal, so he's got a leopard coat. So pretty. Thank you for asking. Leo's great. He's outside playing with his cat friends right now. School's amazing. So I'm in school for metaphysics and I'm studying ufology and paranormal. So right now, I've gone through one module, which was advanced physics concepts, which was really challenging, as you can imagine. And now I'm on to more of the fun stuff. My module right now is life after death. So we're currently learning about, is there life after death? Is there science to prove it? Mediumship, near-death experiences, reincarnation, and I think that's it on this module. And next module, I start to get into investigation of the paranormal, specifically ufology and critical thinking, because obviously when you're in this field, critical thinking is very important. You cannot get taken away by every single story you hear. So it's great. I love it. It's so fun to study exactly what I love. Okay, so next we have these gorgeous wine glasses. They're amber, which I thought were so beautiful for fall. Look at that color. That's gonna work year round, but specifically fall and autumn. And I like that they're not Halloween heavy. Over at my house, I don't do a lot of Halloween. I do more fall. So because it just lasts longer, it transitions into Thanksgiving really well. Transition September through end of November, it works. It's not just Halloween heavy. So again, on a cutting board, let me find this for you down here. These are the wine glasses, 6 for $39.99. That's a great price. And they look really elegant and expensive. Comes with 6 of these. If you don't drink alcohol, you can easily put any sparkling drink inside of these, or non-sparkling, a beautiful juice, whatever you guys want. I love these glasses. I think they're gorgeous, and it's just fun to have something different outside of your regular wine glasses. I love stemware. That's really fun for me when I'm hosting. So I really like those. Okay, so those of you who are joining, this dress, earrings, I've already shared. They're on the bottom here. This dress basically feels like sweats. It's very comfortable, very stretchy, comes in a lot of colors, and it's very highly rated. I did the caramel apple bar. I linked all the items, the toppings, the apples, the caramel, and then the skewers, cutting board, all of it's linked below. You can shop down here at the bottom. It's all linked below. Okay, we're ready for another question. Okay, oh boy, this is the one y'all want to know. What do you think about the new Hulu series, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives? Well, having been on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, I was curious to see what it would be about. So, I don't know, some of you may know my ex-husband and his new wife are on the show, Demi and Brett Ingeman, and I haven't really talked about it just because this is their moment. I took a step back from reality television and I just didn't want to make anything about me, but a lot of you are curious, so I thought I would weigh in. It's better than I thought it would be, quite honestly. I thought it would be a lot more scandalous because it was about swinging. I feel like these women are very honest and vulnerable, which I appreciate. I think sometimes with housewives, the women are older and so they're a lot more guarded. They've got a lot more to lose. There's pros and cons. I think with the maturity, you're more cautious about what you share. But I think the younger girls are more willing to be honest and vulnerable. So it's kind of like, is it better to be honest and vulnerable, but then at the same time, like maybe regret down the road what you do share? Or is it better to be a little bit more held back regarding your life, like on Housewives, but have more of a luxurious lifestyle to show? I think it just depends what you're interested in. But I do really like their vulnerability and their willingness to be real. I really like Taylor. I didn't know that I would like her. After watching her TikTok video where she confessed her, those of you just joining, I'm talking about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, saying, I think Taylor might be my favorite because she is just like, yeah, I've made some bad choices, but this is who I am. She's not mean to people. You know, and I think there's something very refreshing about honesty and vulnerability. I think an audience can forgive a lot if someone's willing to be truthful. I will say, when my ex-husband and his current wife, who are on the show, were considering doing this show, I was very honest with them. I have a nice relationship with them, and I see them quite often, and I just said, don't do it. Do not do reality television. It could not be more of a misrepresentation of who you actually are. Like, I was almost borderline rude about it. Like, you guys are crazy for doing this. But as I've thought about it, you know, I think for some people it might work. I think some people it makes a lot of sense to do reality television, although in my opinion, I don't know that it ever makes sense, but if some people are thicker skinned than I am, I'm very sensitive. And so I think for them, it might be a good move. For me and my lifestyle and what I've got going on with my special needs son, it just didn't make sense anymore. But for them, it may make sense, and I wish them nothing but the best, and I hope this journey is a positive one for them in the end. I don't know a lot of people that get out of it unscathed and say it was worth it, but perhaps they'll be different and it will work out for them. So I wish them the best on their journey. My children were not in the show, but they have been getting a lot of DMs from people, and so that concerns me a little bit. However, we'll navigate as we go along. So all the best to Brett and to me. I wish them well. And I think it's a hit show, and I think people are really enjoying the vulnerability. So if you have any more questions about reality TV, feel free to ask me in the chat. Okay, next item. Let's see, what was my next item? Hold on, that might be all my items. Should we do one more talk about these caramel apples, because they are really kind of the bride, and I think everybody needs this caramel apple bar this fall. Mason jars filled with treats. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. I'm pretending it's for you guys, but really it's for me. We get the caramel apple in the fondue pot. I've linked all this stuff. We get the caramel melted, we get it on the apple. This time I'm gonna do Butterfinger because I'm a Butterfinger girl and the nostalgia of it all. I crushed up some Butterfinger. Again, I was saying to some of the people earlier, if you didn't tune in, caramel apple bar is a great option for a party, for Halloween, take to a party, or even just have out on your counter for when your kids get home from school. Like, how excited would have you been as a kid if your mom had this sitting out? And I think it's a great way. I find that the best way I can communicate with my teenagers is to talk to them over food, ta-da, or drive them to school and back. Or anytime I get an opportunity to drive my children, I will take it, even if they drive, because that is a moment where they will typically open up. I mean, occasionally they will act allergic to you, but they will open up over food and driving them places. So, okay, there's the Butterfinger. Why not add some chocolate sprinkles? Let's just really pile this on and make it special. I put the apple slice on the skewer, squeeze it with lemon so it doesn't oxidize. So good. So good, you guys. So all this is down here. It's affordable. Everything's under $100. I really recommend the cutting board, okay? Because it is something you will always use. Charcuterie boards, obviously for the reason of just cutting food, but you'll use it for decor. You'll use it for a charcuterie board. You'll use it for something like this. I think it's always good when hosting to add layers. That's why I added the cheesecloth, which is also linked down there, because it separates hard surface from hard surface. And it just makes it look a little bit more decorated. So I love the charcuterie board. These are the mason jars that I've got all the toppings in. This is the cheesecloth. As you can see, it's all affordable. You're gonna spend a little bit more on this fondue pot, but it is a top seller, one of the best fondue pots you'll ever buy. And it's one of those things that you'll use forever. I told you guys earlier, I use this on New Year's Eve. We like to do cheese fondue and chocolate fondue on New Year's Eve, and the kids love it. Your kids will love a fondue pot. It's a novelty. They feel special. They feel like you're doing something interesting and cool. And I just think it's something really worth purchasing. So then we've got the caramel right there. And then the sprinkles, these all work for toppings for your caramel apple bar. The Heath Bites, more toppings. And then the fashion, I'm wearing some gold earrings. I added those. Those are a really popular gold earring right now. And then I'm wearing this dress. This knit dress comes in many colors. It is really highly rated. And I'm telling you, it's so comfortable. Earlier I added a designer belt on it, but I could wear this just to lounge in, or I could add heels. You will wear this so many different ways. You can wear it casually with sneakers. You can add heels, you can wear it with boots. It's like very stretchy and comfortable. I added a designer belt earlier just because I thought it would be, it would elevate it a bit, and I think it does. I was saying this kind of looks like a Donna Karan vibe, or like a Bruno Cocelli, I think that's how you say it, piece, which is a very high-end piece, and this is only $49.99. So I promise you guys will find this very comfortable. And then last but not least, the amber wine glasses. They're so pretty. They're a great transition from summer to fall. You can use them for Thanksgiving as well, not just fall. So I think these are gorgeous. They make a great gift for a host as well. Great alternative to your everyday, just boring crystal wine glass. So there you go. That's all the Amazon Live products. Now let's get to another question. Did they ask you back on Housewives? So I know it's a thing in the Housewives world to say, oh, they asked me back, but I chose not to go. And truly, they just didn't ask someone back. Hand to God, they did ask me back, okay? And I get a lot of haters are like, yeah, right, they didn't ask you back. No, they wanted me to come back for sure. And in fact, they were willing to share more of my life, which, like my children and my journey with Heart with Autism, which leads me to believe it would have been more of a full-time position, because typically if you share your children, that is where it ends up going. I wrestled with the idea, and so kudos to them. Thank you for asking me back. I wrestled with the idea, and I couldn't find peace around it. I really couldn't. You know, something as sacred as my son's autism journey. I personally just had an experience where I felt so grossly misrepresented that I wanted to make sure that his autism journey was sacred. Now, for a minute, I did think, you know, this could help a lot of people, open a lot of eyes. Like, it's no joke to deal with autism and be a parent. It's really, really hard. So I thought this could be a beautiful moment where we share his journey. And, you know, look, never say never. But I just don't think I could put myself in a position again where I don't have my voice. It's really hard to have something be edited in a way where you feel like